Ho, ho, ho! Yes, it is the Christmas edition of the Tri-City Sports Roundup. And of course, we're all decked out here for the holidays. For those watching our live stream on our Facebook channel or our YouTube channel, as you can see, I've got my little Christmas decorations here that I just picked up from the dollar store just to give it a Christmas feel. But hey, look, I've got my Christmas colors on. Red sweatshirt, green hat. Granted, they're sports paraphernalia, but it's still Christmas colors. Though my guest today, not in Christmas colors, but okay, you do have a good explanation for why you're not wearing either red or green today, Eric.
Well, the first part of the explanation is I had no idea. You didn't tell me I needed red and green. I mean, at the end of the day, though, I couldn't do the red and green. I don't like the Phillies. I'm not an Eagles fan. I'm not a Packers fan. So I couldn't go with the red and green. I'm sorry. I had to go with the Penn State jersey. I'm a diehard Penn State fan, and we got a big game, a little bit of a big game coming up here today. So pretty pumped up and excited for it.
Yeah, in fact, that big game, it's going to be the first of 3 playoff games we have on our new sports station. The Team, 1450 a.m., KNOT, starting at 10 a.m. It is a solid block of college football playoffs. We have Southern Methodist versus Penn State, then Clemson versus Texas, and then Tennessee versus Ohio State. Again, a full slate of college playoff games on the Team, 1450 a.m. KNOT today. So I'm sure you might be, because I know you're going to have a little busy day today over at Embry-Riddle because the men's basketball team are taking on Concordia. So you may have to get on the radio there and check out what's going on.
Oh, there's no doubt it'll be on the radio. As soon as I have to leave the house, I'll have it on my phone and be pumping it through the speakers so I can hear what's going on. So I'll be listening, no doubt about it.
All right. Well, as I said, folks, today it is our Christmas edition of the Tri-City Sports Roundup. And as always, this time of year, this will be coming up later in the show. But yes, it's our annual tradition. I went around and I spoke to many of our local athletes, found out what is the one thing they want for Christmas. Always a fun segment to do. That'll be coming up later in the show. But first, I thought I'd do something a little different here today instead of my standard monologue since it is Christmas. By the way, Eric Fundalevich, Assistant Athletic Director at Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. Eric, are you in the mood for a special sports Christmas story?
I'm always in the mood for a sports story. I'm a little worried about what you're about to do here, John. Why
are you worried?
Because I've known you for how long, John? I think there could always be a little bit of worry. You never know we're gonna be talking about some Swedish death metal, Christmas themed whatever going on here. Or what do we got? What do we got going on here? I'm excited, but I'm a little worried, John.
Okay, well I can promise you this, and this might surprise you, no Swedish death metal.
Okay, now I'm ready. As long as there's a little Taylor Swift, we're good.
Definitely no Taylor Swift. All right, here it is to kick off the show, our special Christmas sports story. 'Twas 10 days before Christmas, and nobody was at their house. They were all at Franklin Field at the corner of 33rd and Spruce in Philadelphia to watch the Eagles take on the Minnesota Vikings. Throughout the game, there was much hate and discontent. Well, I mean, that's just the natural state of Eagles fans, but more so on this day. Why? Because the Birds were a dismal 2-11 on the season. And while that was bad, it wasn't bad enough for them to secure the number 1 pick in the draft, so they would not be able to get the most sought-after player of that time, O.J. Simpson. Then again, looking back on it, that might have actually been a blessing in disguise. With just 2 wins and no hope of having the juice in their backfield, the fans wanted head coach Joe Kukaric run out of town. They donned buttons demanding Joe must go. They even had a plane fly over Franklin Field towing a banner that said, Joe must go, because we Eagle fans don't know the meaning of the word subtle. The weather also matched the miserable mood of the fans. Snow coated the seats and the aisles of Franklin Field. The mercury dropped to 20 degrees, and the wind gusted to 30 miles per hour. What could possibly bring cheer to the 54,000 fans sitting out in those horrible conditions? Santa Claus! The Philadelphia Eagles staff had a grand celebration planned with jolly old St. Nicholas parading around the field on a float featuring 8 life-size fiberglass reindeer flanked by a 50-piece band and the Eagle cheerleaders dressed as elves. Oh, it was to be a grand display of Christmas merriment. Except Santa Claus never showed up. Since it was some guy playing Santa Claus and not the real St. Nick, he didn't have Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer to guide him through the major snowstorm that clogged up the roads from Atlantic City to Philly. So, one of Santa's helpers in the Eagles front office scoured the stands for someone who could fill in as Santa Claus. Did this person get a, shall we say, rotund individual to play the role? Nope. He got a skinny 20-year-old fan named Frank Olivo who was already dressed as Santa Claus and told him, "Hey, get on the float, kid." So, Olivo got on the float and was pulled around the field until the float got stuck in the mud. So, Olivo, decked out in his ill-fitting Santa Claus suit and scraggly beard and carrying an equipment bag full of towels instead of a sack full of toys, proceeded on foot around Franklin Field, waving at the fans and throwing them candy canes. How did the fans respond to this? By booing him and throwing snowballs at him, and beer bottles, and hoagies. It's like, man, why would you waste a good hoagie like that? But by the way, for you non-Philadelphia, New Jersey folks out there, hoagie is just another word for sub. Santa/Olivo escaped without serious injury, but the incident solidified forever the reputation of Philadelphia Eagles fans as among the worst fans in the NFL, perhaps in all of sports. Oh yeah, since all those Eagle fans made it onto Santa's naughty list, he left them a really big lump of coal in the form of a 24-17 loss to Minnesota and their legendary coach, Bud Grant. And there, ladies and gentlemen, is the story of Christmas, Philadelphia Eagles style.
I can appreciate that, John. I can appreciate that, John. Growing up in a household full of Eagle fans and Philadelphia fans, I've heard bits and pieces of that story, among other things. I mean, let's boo Mike Schmidt. You know,
Oh yeah.
Those Eagle fans, they are diehards, and I can appreciate that. That's a great story. Thank you for that.
My pleasure. I mean, they're such diehard fans. I mean, I think it was when they were still playing at Veterans Stadium. They actually built a jail in there to lock up the rowdy Eagle fans. That ought to tell you something about what kind of fans Philadelphia Eagle fans are.
Oh, I agree. I absolutely agree. I remember the fans at the Vet were I went to many games there, and they were pretty rowdy and nasty. Although I'm with you. I don't know if I could throw a hoagie. Especially nowadays, are rare for us to come across. So, I got to eat that thing. I can't throw it.
Especially if it's a Wawa hoagie.
I was going to say, you got to go with
yeah.
the MTOs out there. You can't go against those. Exactly.
In fact, you actually wore a Wawa sweatshirt here today.
I'm decked out, a Penn State jersey. I got my Wawa sweatshirt going on. Yep, I'm representing 100%.
Now, I guess we have to explain for folks out there. Basically, Wawa, for people like me and Eric who grew up in the Jersey, Philadelphia area, Wawa was our version of Circle K.
Circle K is like is like the redheaded stepchild for Wawa. I mean, Wawa is like, I don't even know how you explain it. Wawa is one of the greatest places in the world. It's a I don't know, a gas and food and truck stop lovers Disneyland. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how else to explain it. It's fantastic. The food's great. Coffee's good. And you can't go wrong with Wawa.
Yeah, especially the hoagies. Like I said, great hoagies. Yep. Well, folks, we're going to take a break here on Tri-City Sports Roundup. Again, it is our Christmas edition. We'll be back, talk a little more with Eric Fundelevich, Assistant Athletic Director at Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. And later on in the show, we will, of course, have our annual Christmas segment asking local athletes what they want for Christmas. So we'll be back with more right after this. Welcome back to the Tri-City Sports Roundup. John Rust with you here, along with my guest today, Assistant Athletic Director at Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, Eric Fundalevich. And yes, as you can hear, if you're listening to us on the radio side of things, yes, we have broken out the Christmas bumper music, including Carol of the Bells by perhaps the greatest violinist walking the face of the earth, and that would be Lindsey Sterling. In fact, I've seen Lindsey Sterling twice in concert, but like her regular concerts, I wonder what it would be like to go down and watch one of her Christmas concerts. That would probably be pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that'd be really cool for you. For me, I'm not sure. Although I'm learning a lot about her because of you. I had no idea who this woman was, and then you came along. So that's kind of your Christmas gift to us, is learning a little bit more about who this lady is. That's impressive.
Yeah, and then of course a lot of great Christmas gifts going around the Tri-City area, sports wise. Well, again, Eric, I know that you're assistant AD out at Embry-Riddle, but of course you've got close ties with Prescott High School. That's where your son Coley plays, and actually this year you're helping out Travis as assistant coach there.
I am. It's been fun. It's started out over the summer. Travis just kind of asked me if I was, what I was doing, and told him I'd be traveling with following Coley and the boys and just kind of watching them throughout the summer. And he's like, well, I mean, if you're going to be there, well, you want to sit on the bench. And so it's kind of fun, sit in the bench. And then, he and Swan and Andre, they were just kind of like, hey, do you guys want to keep helping out during the year? And I'm like, well, I can only be at games. I can't come to practices. And they're like, that's fine. You can sit on the bench for the games and really kind of help us out there if you'd like. And so after a little him and Han, because you kind of want to be dad as well, and talking to Travis and Swan and a bunch of different people, and then I think the final kicker is after Coley had talked to me about it. Vince Skirtle, Ryan and Logan Skirtle's dad, who played for us out there at Riddle. He called me and I was talking. He was like, "Hey, I noticed I saw you sitting on the bench during the summer games." And I'm like, "First of all, what are you watching summer games for?" I'm like, well, "This is high school basketball." He's like, "If you know Vince, you know Vince." So, he's like, "I noticed you're sitting on the bench," and we kind of got to talking, and he had some comments that kind of pushed me over the edge and said, "You know what? You could still be dad and sit on the bench and be a part of all of that." So I'm grateful, very grateful that Travis and his staff and Missy and everybody gave me the opportunity, and Phil gave me the opportunity to be able to give my time and be able to sit on the bench and be a part of not just Coley's senior year and being a part of my son's life in that way, but all of them. It's been fun to be around the Zanes and Uriah and Cooper Magnet, Joe, Jake Dean or Sebastian, all these guys. They're great kids. I've grown up with them. Them being friends with Coley. But getting to be around them on this side of it too has been a lot of fun. Like I said, I'm very, very thankful and grateful for the opportunity they gave me. Yeah,
and then of course, again, as you've probably heard on both the Team 1450 AM right here on KYCA, we have done the first 4 Badger games of the year, and some really impressive victories for Prescott. In fact, I think the St. Mary's one probably surprised a lot of people, because St. Mary's just traditionally has put out some very, very good teams. In fact, I remember a few years ago watching Prescott play St. Mary's, and St. Mary's looked like they were fielding like a junior college team out there.
Well, and they are. I mean, at the end of the day, they've got 3 Division I quality kids on that team. I know, the one kid, the taller, skinnier kid, Williams, I think is his last name, 6'9" kid. He's like a top 100 recruit in the country. So I mean, they're and they've got some incredible talent. All of them. I mean, honestly, all the teams that we played, ALA Gilbert, Deer Valley, obviously, they're traditionally one of the best teams at the 4A level. St. Mary's and even Arcadia being a top 10 team. So it didn't start out. Our schedule was definitely not easy, but it's funny. I think if you were to go into the locker room, every single one of those boys feel that they can win every single game that they go out there. I mean, surprises some people, but those 13 boys in the locker room, nothing's going to surprise them. They show up, they play hard, they get after it, they expect to win. And it helps that you have the talent with quite a few of the boys, but then you have others that understand what their roles are and piece it together, and you've got one heck of a team that I feel can make a really deep run this year and do some really good things. And then obviously having Travis kind of running things and just kind of corralling them and making sure that they're moving in that right direction. Travis and Swan them. I mean, they've done a great job leading these boys to where they are now, and think there are going to be some really fun and exciting things coming up.
Yeah, well, we've already had some fun and exciting stuff happen. I mean, within the span of 24 hours, we had 2 Badgers set milestones, which I talked about last week. You had Zane Gall reaching the 1,000-point mark for his career, and then the next night you had Uriah Tenet hit the 2,000-point mark for his career.
Yeah, honestly, it's to get 2 1,000 scores just in a program at the same time, it seems absurd. I mean, like you would never in a million years imagine that you could be a part of something like that. But to see somebody hit 2 and then 1, it's incredible. And honestly, it's a testament to the work that both of those boys have done over the years, and honestly, a testament to the other players, and the fact that they understand again what their roles are, and understanding, hey, we do have Zane and Uriah. Let's, we're going to run through them, and what do you need me to do to help the team win? Because yeah, they're scoring points, but they're also winning a lot of games, and I guarantee if you sit both Zane and Uriah down, first ones they're going to be thanking and pointing out are all the teammates that are making it possible for them to be able to hit those points. And ask the boys, and they're going to go, well, we're where we are because of these guys. So it's a lot of mutual respect and fun and admiration from all of them on the team that I think has been a lot of fun. It's been fun to be around.
Yeah, and I think the other cool thing, and actually, Coach Collette brought this up with Uriah when I was at the football banquet. But obviously, Uriah, Zane, basketball is their big thing. In fact, Uriah, a few weeks ago, he signed to play for UC San Diego. But you look at Uriah, what he did on the football field this year. Grand Canyon Region Player of the Year, and how many athletes in our area do you see win Region Player of the Year in 2 different sports? You have Zane Gall, who, along with being a great basketball player, also did a very good job with the golf team, and one of the top boys volleyball players in the state. I think he's like a 2-time Region Player of the Year. So, yeah, basketball is their big thing, but it's nice to see that they also say, hey, I want to take time to play other sports and not just be there just to be there, but to be key contributors to those other sports.
Yeah, to excel at all of the above. I mean, and what's crazy is you see what they're doing right now, but then the things that they could do as well. I mean, Uriah, I believe it was only his freshman year he was track. And where would he be if he stayed with track, in the offseason?
He'd be a state champ.
I was going to say, yeah. And Zane, to be honest with you, Zane was a tremendous baseball player, first baseman and a pitcher. I mean, Zane was, could you imagine? I mean, you got 6'10" sitting on first base. I mean, that's a heck of a target to be throwing at, or on the mound. I mean, that's an intimidating presence throwing. So, I mean, even from that standpoint, the things that they do, and all of these boys, I mean, that's a lot of coaches, they kind of thumb their nose at multi-sport athletes, but when you're in a small town, you kind of have to rely on that. And all of our kids, I mean, and I say that from not just the boys' perspective, but even the women. I mean, you look at the flag football team that we have, and look at the multi-sports that those girls are playing as well. I mean, our kids in this community are tremendous athletes, and the things that they're doing across the board, it's nice to see that there's some notice being taken, and Uriah's really kind of helped with that too. I mean, you say, hey, Region, Player of the Year doing X, Y, and Z. Okay, well, let's look at some of our other sports. We have some other kids that are all conference players, not just Region, the athletes of the year, but all conference players in multiple sports. Mm-hmm. You don't see that often in a lot of the big cities because a lot of the kids don't overlap the sports, and we're lucky to see that and to be a part of all of that and kind of witness it as we continue to grow up and have such great kids and great athletes playing in the schools that we have here.
And I just think being a multi-sport athlete, that just opens up a lot more doors for you, because I'm sure there are a lot of college football teams out there who were probably looking at Uriah and were probably disappointed when he signed with UC San Diego for basketball. But like even in the pro ranks, John Elway got drafted by the Yankees, but went on to have a Hall of Fame football career. Or what about Dave Winfield? I think he's the perfect example. Drafted in 3 different sports, basketball, football, and baseball, and turned out to be a Hall of Fame baseball player.
Exactly. Well, look at Deion Sanders. We were just having a discussion about him. I mean, Deion Sanders is the same way. I mean, and he excelled. I mean, yeah, you could get drafted, but to excel in a sport. I mean, Bo Jackson. I mean, those are, it goes to show. I mean, at some point, it takes its toll on the body. I mean, geez, when you're playing a professional, or you're even playing at the college level, and the physicality and the mental, stamina that it takes to be able to play multiple sports at that level is something else. But but it's a tremendous thing to see, and it is fun because not only are the kids doing it, but they're excelling at it as well.
Yeah. Or you want to really go back, Jackie Robinson.
Jackie Robinson.
Yeah,
yep.
everyone knows him as, hey, he's the guy who broke the color barrier for the Dodgers. But I think this guy was an All-American in football, basketball and track and field when he was at UCLA.
I forgot about track and field too. Yeah, I mean, you're talking 4 different sports right there. I mean, it gets lost upon us, I think. At times when you think about kids playing the multi sports, and that's why it's fun to see them and to see them excel at it, and to enjoy playing the sport as well.
All right. Well, hey, folks, I got Assistant Athletic Director for Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, Eric Fundalevich, on the show with me today. We're coming up to a break here on Tri-City Sports Roundup, but before we go to break, as always, it's time to see who shined over the past 7 days as we present the Tri-City Sports Roundup 3 Stars of the Week. Starting with the ladies, our number 3 star is Alana Gilray of the Prescott soccer team. She notched 2 goals in the Lady Badgers' 4-0 victory over ALA Gilbert North Monday. The number 2 star is Zakira King of the Embry-Riddle basketball team. She posted 16 points in the Lady Eagles' 64-59 win over Grace College Tuesday. And our number 1 star of the week is Nicole Evanson of the Embry-Riddle basketball team. She notched 18 points in the Lady Eagles' 64-59 triumph over Grace College Tuesday. Now for the guys, our number 3 star is Casey DeVito of the Prescott soccer team. He had 2 goals in the Badgers' 3-1 victory over Cactus Shadows Wednesday. The number 2 star is Peter Dress of the Embry-Riddle basketball team. He posted 26 points in the Eagles' 83-82 win over the University of Providence last Sunday. And our number 1 star of the week is Isaiah Wong, also of the Embry-Riddle basketball team. He nailed 4 free throws in the final 20 seconds of regulation to give the Eagles the 83-82 win over the University of Providence last Sunday. Congratulations to all our 3 stars of the week. Break time here on the Roundup when we come back. Yes, it's our annual segment. What do our local athletes want for Christmas? We'll find out on the other side of this break. We'll be back after this. We are back here on the Tri-City Sports Roundup. John Rust with you, along with Assistant Athletic Director at Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, Eric Fundalevich. And if you're listening to us on the radio side, yes, we do have our Christmas bumpers. And gotta put in Trans-Siberian Orchestra's Christmas Eve Sarajevo. Ugh, can't get enough of that one. Honestly, Eric, the two you heard in the bumpers there, Christmas Eve Sarajevo, Patapan by Mannheim Steamrollers, those are absolute staples on my Christmas playlist.
So I'm gonna have to ask you this question though, because I'm having a hard time believing it, but I gotta kind of call you out on this one.
All right.
So apparently last night at our game, where our young lady that was up working the music for the game, was playing Lily was playing a bunch of great Christmas music, and
yes, she was. Yeah.
It sounded like there may have been a song that was on that you were kind of jamming to and trying to figure out who it was. And apparently it happened, like you were moving to it and grooving to it, and apparently it was a Taylor Swift.
No, it
Christmas
wasn't.
Song. I'm just telling you what I was told. I am passing along what I was told, I'm only saying it because I was told that it was Taylor Swift and you were moving to it. So I wish we got some video of this that we could put on YouTube, or we could like intro into one of your shows, or like leave with one of your shows. You jamming to
Whoever told you. Whoever told you that is lying.
Okay.
They are lying more than
okay.
Tommy Flanagan, the character from Saturday Night Live. And he was the pathological liar guy. But no, if I was moving to Taylor Swift, it was me just shaking my head going, oh, why are they playing this?
That was not me making it up. I was actually told that occurred. So I'm just repeating what I was told.
Well, whoever said that is lying.
Okay. All right. I'm going to have to go check with this person then. I'm kind of interested. I wish there was I did ask if there was video taken, because it would have been appropriate, but there was it couldn't have been done quick enough, apparently.
I think that's slander right there.
But I think after you found out that it was Taylor Swift, you kind of backed off of it, like, I can't believe I was just doing that. That's what I was told. I don't know. I was thrown off for a few minutes there when that happened. I was just kind of like, I'm trying to wrap my head around John getting down to a little Taylor Swift.
John is never getting down to Taylor Swift, I can tell you that. John will get down to Antonin Dvorak, I'll tell you that. By the way, classical Czech composer, does some really good stuff. But yeah, I'll bang my head to that long before I ever bang my head to a Taylor Swift song.
I don't know if you could bang your head to one of her songs, though. I don't think that's possible.
I can roll my eyes, though.
I was going to say, you could definitely roll your eyes. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. Oh, man. All right, folks. Well, as always, like we do every year here on the Christmas edition, I went around and I talked to many of our local athletes to see what the one thing is they really want for Christmas. So you know what? Let's not waste any more time. Let's get to it and find out what they want for Christmas.
This is Aubrey Canahata, and I'm a wide receiver of the Prescott High School flag football team. And the one thing I really want for Christmas is a ticket back to Illinois to go visit my friends that I haven't seen in a year. So it'll be really exciting.
Hi, this is Bentley Crockett from the Prescott girls varsity basketball team. And one thing I really want for Christmas is a new blanket.
This is Colin Bowser, and I play goalkeeper of the Bradshaw Mountain High School soccer team. And one of the things I really want for Christmas is the new Lamine Yamal cleats.
This is Cooper Kassoon, linebacker from Prescott High School football team. The one thing I really want for Christmas is a new truck.
This is Delaney Courtney. I'm a forward of the Prescott High School girls soccer team, and the one thing I really want for Christmas is a heated blanket.
This is Deshaun Miller, shooting guard at Yavapai men's basketball, and the one thing I really want for Christmas is a pair of KD4s.
This is Emma Almodoba, the center fielder of the Embry-Riddle softball team, and the one thing I really want for Christmas is to win a GSAC championship.
This is Isaiah Wong. I'm a point guard for Embry-Riddle's men's basketball team, and what I want for Christmas is some Kobe's.
This is Jason Perrin of the Yavapai Rough Riders basketball team, and the one thing I really want for Christmas is a conference championship.
This is Jaden Blazik, center of the Bradshaw Mountain basketball team. And one thing I really want for Christmas is a new pair of Kobe's.
This is Callie Smith, and I'm a shooting forward of the Bradshaw Mountain girls basketball team. And one thing I really want for Christmas is a Levi's jacket.
This is Kate Jones of the Prescott High School basketball team, and the one thing I really want for Christmas is new basketball shoes.
This is Logan Dart, the 132 of the Bradshaw Mountain Wrestling team, and the one thing I really want for Christmas are some new hoodies.
This is Michael Crawford, and my position is point guard for Bradshaw Mountain High School basketball team. And there's one thing I really want for Christmas is new Kobe's.
This is Morgan Evanson, the guard on the 2024 Embry-Riddle basketball team. And one thing I really want for Christmas is a plane ticket to my hometown, Bemidji, Minnesota.
This is Peter Dress, and I'm a power forward for the Embry-Riddle men's basketball team. And one thing I really want for Christmas is to see my family.
This is Tatum Johnson, and I play left back of the Bradshaw girls soccer team. And the one thing I really want for Christmas is an Apple Watch.
This is Taylor Hogan. I play center back of the Bradshaw Mountain girls soccer team, and one thing I really want for Christmas is Birkenstocks.
This is Trevor Foshi, 165-pounder of the Bradshaw Mountain wrestling team, and the one thing I really want for Christmas is probably new wrestling shoes.
Hi, this is Wiley Monet, a forward with the Prescott Badgers girls soccer team, and the one thing I really want for Christmas is a pair of pink and blue Adidas Sambas.
This is Wyatt Pierce. I'm D lineman, linebacker, and tight end of Prescott High School football team. And the one thing I really want for Christmas is to spend time with my family.
Well, there you have it. Another edition of What Do Our Local Athletes Want for Christmas? And well, it seems like every year, Eric, shoes are a very popular item with our athletes.
Always popular, especially the Kobe's. I know my son is the exact same way. It's always, well, what do you want? I want shoes. I'm like, really? Like, don't you have enough of them? I mean, I probably shouldn't say anything because if you saw my closet, you're like, I hope you don't want shoes. But yeah, shoes always seem to be the popular thing. I mean, at least we're going away from video games. I don't know. It used to be, PS5s or Xbox, whatever it was. So, hey, you know what though? The Kobe's, they're nice. They look good. Unfortunately, it's a mortgage to get a pair of Kobe's anymore. So,
I did notice this. There was not a single person on our segment here who asked for any kind of video game system, and usually that's like another one of the big items I've had for years on this segment.
Yeah, I'm not sure where the flow is going right now. I mean, hoodies. I mean, I was hearing hoodies. I was hearing blankets. Shoes. I mean, like, shoot. I mean, they're things that could easily be purchased and given. And honestly, I look at it and go, I could get you multiple of those, and it'll equal a PlayStation. So you know what? That's fine. If that's what you want, go ahead and do it. So, it's weird. Every year there's kind of a direction that you see kids wanting certain gifts in, and obviously this year is definitely not on the electronic side.
Yeah, that's for sure. Even what would probably be the one thing I would really want for Christmas, and it would not be on the electronic side, but I would love to get tickets to see Iron Maiden and Hailstorm. They are touring together in 2025, and I was like, Maiden and Hailstorm on the same bill. It's like, you got to be kidding me. That is going to be one outstanding concert.
Well, and imagine how much those tickets are going to be.
Actually, yeah, that's the other thing, too.
That might be a mortgage as well. I mean, that's probably what you're looking at there, John.
Well, the way Ticketmaster is these days, and again, you got Maiden and Hailstorm. I mean, Maiden's one of the legends of heavy metal. Hailstorm, they've been around for over 20 years, and Grammy-nominated artists. So, yeah, that would probably cost me a pretty penny. Man, it's like, boy, I really got to start stuffing money into the concert fund for that.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. It's funny because you say that if there were a concert that I had to go to that I could go to. I mean, my ultimate concert, I would have loved to have seen Miles Davis in concert, but obviously for a main reason, I can't see that happen. Rage Against the Machine would be the one that I'd want to go see. Yes, I'm a diehard Rage fan, and yeah, unfortunately, I don't think we'll ever get a chance to see them again unless they can pull their heads out of their butts and come together and figure out how they could tour together again, because they stopped that concert, what was it, 2 years ago? I think they were doing the tour, and I think that the cheapest seats in the house were like $350. So that's what I say. They're mortgage. Yeah, those ticket prices are mortgages nowadays.
Tell me about it. Well, I'll tell you one thing you're not going to have to mortgage anything for if you want to get out to Embry-Riddle this afternoon. Embry-Riddle men's basketball versus Concordia, and that ought to be a good one.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really good one. Our team, we're young, but boy, Ben really kind of has them piecing it together and moving in a really good direction. I mean, we've got really good upper class leadership with Jake and Dave and Damari really kind of pushing them along, and then just really filling the cracks. I mean, geez, the freshmen that Ben has brought in this year are phenomenal. Noah can shoot it. Actually, Nick Johnson was here last night for the game, and we went out to dinner afterwards, and he was like, "Coach, that's a kid that could break my scoring mark. Like he can play, he can score." And so, with Noah and Peter and Isaiah, I thought it's funny, he talking about getting Kobe's. That kid has more Kobe's. He walks out on the gym floor. I'm like, dude, you got another pair? And he's like, I love Kobe's. I'm like, okay. But I thought he had a tremendous game last night. I mean, 10 points, 8 assists, all 10 came from the line. So it's funny, he got the player of the week with, going 4 for 4 to beat Providence, and then he hits the 10 free throws last night. But, he's getting great, just great contributions from all of his freshmen. And everyone else is really kind of filling what he needs, and I think they're starting to catch on to what he's really doing and moving in a good direction. So it's a good time of year between our men's program really catching up. Our women's program is going to be outstanding. I had a tough one yesterday afternoon to Rocky, who's a receiving votes team. And then they play again today against Montana State Northern. Actually, they tip off in about an hour and 15 minutes. A nice morning game that they get to play on. And then obviously our wrestling team, our wrestling team is up in Reno right now too. So it's even though it seems like it might be a little bit of a down trend right now for sports at Riddle, we still have a whole bunch going on, and all of our teams, we're excited about them and what they're doing.
Oh yeah, I mean I know about a week or so ago I did a report on Riddle wrestling, and how many of those guys are ranked in the top 10 in their weight classes, and I think when I checked, Riddle was ranked as a team, was ranked in the top 10, and of course you got Keller Rock, our three-time state champ from Chino Valley, just tearing it up, and then one of the new local guys, Wyatt Rewards, put in a pretty good performance at I think it was the Oppenheim. Actually, I think it was the Westcliff duel they had.
The Westcliff duel, yeah. The Westcliff duel, our boys really showed up for that one. And so I think hopefully that was a nice precursor going into Reno, because I know these Reno duels are usually a pretty good one for Casey and the boys, just to kind of end the semester and, go into Christmas and then bounce back when they come back. So wrestling is definitely, like you said, they're top 10. Casey feels really good about a lot of the boys that he's got going on out there. So it's exciting. A really, really good time, fun time to come out. I mean, obviously our events are free to attend. You want to watch online, you have to do the whole purchasing the ticket and all that kind of stuff. But come on out and enjoy. I mean, it's been fun. It's been exciting. This time of year, the students aren't quite there. Just they're at home. So anybody else that wants to come out and get involved and watch games and have a little bit of fun for free, especially on a Saturday afternoon at 3:00, you could still get home and have some dinner and enjoy the rest of the evening.
Yeah, like I said, last night I was over there. They played Doane University and started out as a pretty close game, but Riddle ran away with it. And again, it doesn't have to be NCAA Division I to get some really good college basketball.
Absolutely, and honestly, the talent level is really good. I mean, again, like you said, it doesn't have to be Division I. You're looking at, who was it? Green Bay lost the other day. Gottlieb was coaching that team to a Division II school. I mean, anybody can be beaten on any given day, and when you have the talent that a lot of these teams have, I mean, you look at a Noah Gift, and he's a player that could play at a higher level. I mean, Ben has quite a few players on his team, and I thought Doane was the same way. That number 2 was tough. The little guard was tough last night. And so, you're going to see some really good basketball, tough basketball, basketball where they're coached, and you're seeing a lot of X's and O's that kind of come out of it, more of a chess match stuff, and I'm not trying to put shade on the NBA, but the NBA turns into a lot of one-on-one. Hey, we need to score, give it to LeBron. Oh, hey, we need to score, give it to AD, and everyone get out of the way. Here, you're really relying on one another, and I think that's what makes it even more fun. Is it's a true team sport when you're watching it at the level. You really have to rely on one another to win those games.
All right. Well, hey, folks, we're coming up to the end of the show here, and I want to thank Eric Fundalevich, Assistant Athletic Director at Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. Eric, always a pleasure to have you here, and hey, for you, your family, everyone over at Riddle, Merry Christmas to all you folks.
And you too, John. Again, we're thankful for you and everything that you do for us out there at Embry-Riddle, and honestly, even the community. I know I hear people making comments, but we only make comments about it because it's true. You're somebody who really tries to get our students and the student athletes in our community on the map and try to bring some light to all the good things that we've got going on here. whether it's on the court, in the field, in a classroom, whatever it is, you're always trying to help our people out. And so, from the community, we thank you. And everybody here at the station, I mean, because honestly, you're not getting it done if they're not helping you out as well, too. It's a teamwork. That's what we're talking about, teamwork. So, so thank you. Thank you, and happy holidays to all of you guys as well.
Well, thank you for that, Eric. And again, that's it for our show. We'll be back live, and we're going to take a 2-week hiatus from live shows, and we'll be back in the new year. Till then, folks, Merry Christmas. Have yourselves a good one.